Why James Cameron's Avatar is Not Anti-Military, Part 5. In Part 4 of this lecture, we have already discussed our new perspective of James Cameron's Avatar, and made some headway into the choices that both our main protagonist, Jake Sully, and our main antagonist, Colonel Miles Quaritch, made in the film. Overall, in our lecture we have already covered the three main pointers of discussion on debunking the claim of James Cameron's Avatar being an anti-military film. We have already discussed the issues of military disparagement concerns, or criticisms, that is, claims of America's armed forces being misrepresented in the film, the responsible military approaches portrayed in Avatar, and our new perspective of the film as a whole in regard to how the military in Avatar is portrayed. And finally, as a call to action, I'm going to have you do something really simple. I'm going to strongly suggest the exact opposite of what is suggested by people who claim that Avatar is anti-military. And I think you'll find many of those people primarily on the right-wing side of politics. Watch the film. Yes, I mentioned at the beginning of my lecture that you should watch the film before listening to this lecture due to the possible spoilers. If you have not watched Avatar at all, I suggest you take some time to see it. But aside from just simply watching it for the sake of enjoying a thrilling ride, by which I mean seeing it just for the sake of the special effects and the amazing action, watch the film, only this time with a thoughtful mind. And take all the material presented in this lecture into consideration when watching the film. You are welcome to disagree with me about Avatar being anti-military, even after watching / listening to a lecture that opposes that point of view. But it's usually not a good idea to judge a film, especially a film under intense debate from opposing sides, simply by its cover, or from what various blogs and articles divided over the film say about it across the internet, unless you have actually seen the film for yourself. And after seeing a film that is under intense debate from both opposing sides, even once, after watching it once, it's not a good idea to immediately jump to judgmental conclusions based solely on your first impressions of the film. When it comes to a film like Avatar, you really need to dig a little deeper into its meanings by watching the film again, while observing the little details and meanings presented in it. I think it's no longer in theaters now, so by all means get a copy of the film in DVD, get extended collector's edition, or just simply watch it online. And as you watch the film, while taking into consideration all that I've said in this lecture, I encourage you to start listening in your mind what is really at play in the film, and then you can discern for yourself whether Avatar is really the anti-military film that most of the right-wing critics claim it to be. So I hope you enjoyed watching / listening to this lecture. I'll admit it's long, but in general, as with most critical reviews designed to convey another perspective of a subject under a lot of debate, in this case James Cameron's Avatar, the longer the lecture, the better. That is because the assertions involved in lectures like the one I just gave already need their reasons as well as the accompanying supporting material explained in depth. And if I had to dumb the whole lecture down, it would simply be another hackneyed video lecture on YouTube that make claims about one subject or another, but never really explain their claims in greater depth. My hope for this lecture is that your mind, as well as your eyes, were open to a newer perspective about the film concerning its military aspect, and hopefully you have been persuaded enough by this lecture to watch Avatar again, and see for yourself why James Cameron's Avatar is not an anti-military film. The end.